Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new series we'll be covering on the channel. This is Big Pharma. Big Pharma is a tycoon style puzzler kinda game by a group called Twice Circled. Best way to explain it is it's a mix between Factorio and Finifactory and the aesthetics of Theme Hospital, I suppose. But let's get into it. The best way to explain Big Pharma is to actually play it. So I've played, oh god man, I've played about 4 hours of this game. This game is so enjoyable. I've done all the tutorial, I've done a couple of the beginner maps. Let's just keep going. I'm not going to start over again because these beginner maps start off they're all very similar to each other. But we'll do 2 of them. We'll do King and Non-Prescriptions, we'll do the 3 is a magic number because we've not done them. So the objective in this one is to supply 500 painkillers, 500 antihistamines, 500 soothes cold symptoms, 500 soothes cough treatments, and 500 soothes rash treatments. So let's get going, and I'll kind of blast through it as we go. Let's go with the dodgy looking guy, as I usually do. Steejo Corp, poisoning you 1 pill at a time. Right, so this is the pause. This is basically the game of Big Pharma. So you get your basic factory layout. Let's not put it in any other way. It is a factory at the end of the day. This is my objectives, which will slowly fill. You get 3 different ranks. You've got Master, Expert, and Standard. It's all generally for completing it and in a faster time. Let's get rid of that. And what you want to do in Big Pharma is you're creating pills to cure other people's ailments. You can have a look at this by going into the cures section. It shows you all the things and little percentage, so that's like percentage profit for taking the ingredient and then upgrading it. And there's a load of different things that you can do, but I'll explain it all as I do it. And I'll try to do things a bit slower at the start. Like I said, I've been playing it for a little while, so I'm kind of like bashed through everything. But the tutorials are far too long for me to cover in the actual game. If we go to our ingredient section, you can see the ingredients that we can import into our factory. So we can import bitter Fervilli crystals, which will give a painkiller benefit, should I say, and a inflamed skin side effect. Basically, while the entire gameplay comes down to getting your ingredients to a certain strength and then pilling them up. So right now this ingredient's at 4 strength. You can see if I mouse over here, the active range of painkiller is between 5 and 12 strength. The max strength is unknown because we need to use a machine called an analyzer to figure that out, but that is more advanced gameplay. The inflamed skin isn't active until 10 to 18, so basically you can have a painkiller without inflamed skin as a side effect as long as you keep it between 5 and 9. So if your concentration is between 5 and 9, you'll have painkiller but not inflamed skin because it'll be sitting on one of these grey marks. This lighter grey will be sitting on one of these darker grey marks, so it won't activate inflamed skin, but will activate painkiller. And the reason you do that is because once you make something, you get your product name, which you can name yourself, then the active effects, and then you get a cure rating. The more side effects, or the worse the side effects are, then the lower cure rating you get, which lowers your profit, which is the main thing. That lowers your value, but also the profit by regards of that. So what I like to do is very first thing I like to do is, first off, you can see that we can get both painkiller and CAM's acid reflux by only increasing the concentration by 1, which is super good way in order to get ourselves some money. Yep, definitely. So that's what we're going to do first. But before we do that, we're going to go into our research screen and I didn't. Ignore research. Let's go back to ingredients. To get any more ingredients, I didn't mention this, we need to hire explorers and then send explorers off into the world to find new ingredients. So if we send 1 explorer off here, then after a while they will find us a ingredient that contains sexual health medication. This one, relaxant, also contains a catalyst. Catalysts are used much further on to make more advanced medicines, but I'll get onto that when we actually need to. The same, here we go, we've got body response, it's different catalyst, liver medication, blood medication, then we need to unlock desert expeditions to go into the desert. But yes, that's what explorers can do. But every explorer you have hired that isn't away on an expedition, they gain you these little upgrade points. And these upgrade points can be spent making your current ingredients cheaper. So basically every time you make an ingredient cheaper, you save 10%. But the upgrade points are multiplicative, exponential, however you want to say it. Basically it costs 1 upgrade for the first, 1 point for the first one, 2, 4, 8, 16 points. And that's the way that research works as well, with idle researchers contributing to your pool of research points. Right, breathe. The next thing you can do is obviously research stuff as well. So the first thing I want to do is I'll grab 2 researchers and I'll get the agglomerator. This is the thing with YouTube. While I was playing this game by myself, didn't matter how I pronounced it, so I called it a fucking agglomerator, and that was fine. But now people make fun of me, so I need to pronounce it. It's an agglomerator. Yes. Yes, it increases concentration by 3. That's all you need to know. The aglo. The evaporator increases concentration by 1, the dissolver decreases it by 1, and the ionizer decreases it by 3. And the pill printer, basically you shove your ingredients into it and it makes pills out of it. Another thing you need to look at, which is where the Factorio comparison comes in, is that evaporators take 1 turn to evaporate, agglomerators take 1 turn to agglomerate, pill printers take 2 turns to pill print. So you need basically 2-to-1 ratios. It's pretty simple. I'm guessing I've not been any further than this current research amount, which I've read that there is a lot more researches that will unlock as I get to the higher difficulties. Right. So, let's get going the way that I want to do it. So, if we get a painkiller, we can bump it up by 1, as we've seen in the ingredients section when I had a look here. We bump it up by 1, it'll give us a painkiller, but not inflamed skin, so that will give us... It'll probably be a pretty crappy painkiller, because, as I said before, with the analyzer, we can find out the max strength, which means if you get it there, then you get a better drug, and then you get... its worth increases, because you get like an A+ cure rating, and it's freaking awesome, and you get a ton of money. But you don't really need to worry about that with lower things, because the amount of processing costs kind of off-put the amount that you'll save on it. So, right, let's get this bitter ferrari crystal and import it to here. And I'll show you one of the super basic things that you can do is, if we... Actually, I'm going to... yes, I should do... Oh, feck. I've gone done waste $300 because I twitched. Right, if I place that there, get my pill printer there and there, then give me a belt, and I'll pop the belt round into there, and into there, and into there, and into there, and boop, done. If we hit play, then the game will start playing, and we'll start earning money off of that. But we're going to want to get our next thing as well, so let's get the anhydrous Jackyr quartz and pull that in, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Oops, let's go back to production, and we shall grab our evaporator, and we'll put it there, and I'm pretty much going to use the exact same layout as well, except, yeah, I'm going to need to. There she blows. Let's pull that into there, that into that one, and that into that one. There we go. And if we play, then what will happen is we will actually start to earn money as everything shimmies through and heads towards the end, which will be fantastic. I didn't even realise there was a delete thing. That's pretty cool. I just right click on everything. There we go, and as our pills reach the end, we get to name them. So I'm going to have to come up with some nomenclature for these things, because I normally just use the default ones, but Steejo's face numificator. There we go. What's this one? What do you do? Acid reflux. Right, let's Steejo's tummy bits better if fire. Better if fire. There you go. Right, so now we've got Steejo's pain nullificator and tummy bits better fire. We are starting to make a profit, so you can see here we're making 58 profit from the face nullificator. And the tummy bits better fire, we are making $59 profit. So, boom, basics, making money, jobs are good and fist pump. Right, next thing we need to do is, oh, sugar. Next thing we need to do is, if we have a look at the quartz, right now we're just making a painkiller, but in order to make that an ease migraine, if we get the concentration up to 7 out of 10, and then use an evaporator on it, we can make that an ease migraine pain. And the exact same over here, if we get the concentration of this, apparently we remove constipation by using the evaporator on it at the right concentration. So you see there, between 13 and 17 concentration, if we use an evaporator, we will remove causes constipation, which is exactly what we've done, because it comes out at 14, which is between 13 and 17, we use an evaporator, and it's removed causes constipation, which is awesome. If we get that between 16 and 18, which is one more, and then use an evaporator, we can upgrade that to alleviates stomach ulcers, which I am going to bash into this corner. Alright, so what we'll do is we will pull this in. Basically, I like to leave these original ones working because they're earning me money. Like, that's earning me 57 and 66. Not a lot, but it does add up. So what's the point in tearing it down to build something else? Are you with me? So let's shove an evaporator down, and then I think there's 3 of these. So that's 1. That's 2. I will be mildly inefficient with what I do just through the nature of being Steejo. So don't worry about it. The game doesn't need hyper efficiency in your placements. At least as far as I've seen. You probably need hyper efficiency later on in the game, but right now I don't need it, so I'm not gonna worry. There we go, and now we'll start to make a... Oh, I don't know if this will actually work. I haven't looked. Ah! Expedite stomach pain relief for competitor. Competitor's getting into our market, the bastards. I shouldn't have pill printing these because they might be crappy, but I'm going to pause it. Ah! I'm going to pause it right as we get to the edge so I can see exactly what stage these are in. Yes, I knew that would happen. We need to whip it back down to 8 to alleviate stomach ulcers, which is a shame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that the way it is. It doesn't cost me any more money leaving it like that. And basically I'm going to need to wait until I get the ionizers, because taking it down using the evaporators is just a waste of time. Just a bloody waste of time. Unfortunately, that's the quickest way to get it to, or the best way to get it to alleviate stomach ulcers. And then I get 2 ionizers, and that'll take it down by 6 to 11, which is in the active range. That's fine. And then it's an autoclave if we want to take it down any further, which is if we want to expand it any further, rather. Oh, I was wondering what was going on with this. It's just they're at opposite sides, it looks like. Oh no, I don't know what happened there, that was strange. Right, so what we're going to have to do is, what I should have done a bit sooner, is hire a Unomass Explorer and send them off. Basically 1 Explorer, because of the amount of money we've got, we're probably going to start losing a couple of bucks. And let's bump the speed up because reasons. Gotta go fast and all that jazz. Right. So the first thing that we want to get is these 2, and then we'll stop worrying about everything else. Because as soon as we get those 2, that's when we can start doing some decent leveling and things. I like these little setups that earn you just that little chunk of money are fantastic. Alright, so we got both of them, so let's get the alternative delivery, because I really like the creamer. The creamer basically does the same as the pill printer, except it creates a cream and it gives you... it takes 1 turn as opposed to 2 turns. So we'll get that underway, and what we need to do is... Was that 2 ionizers I needed? Yep. Down by 2. So let's actually pause the game for now. We shall delete them, and can I get a... Ionizer can go there. And one there. Look at me being all efficient with my space. Alright, and then I don't even need to delete those pill printers. Oh, shoot, yes I did. God damn it. Every time you buy and sell stuff like that, actually you lose money, which is a bit of a shame. Because as far as I can tell, there's no way to actually move things. It's kind of just stuck in place. There we go, so that should allow us to get that into a concentration that... yep, there you go, alleviate stomach ulcers, perfect. And then we'll just print that up and start selling it. Come on, there we go, and pause the game so we don't waste any time. Gastroenteritis Punisher. Gastroenteritis... Steejo's ulcer. Steejo's ultimate ulcer usurper. Yeah, there we go. Alliteration's the best way to name your pharmaceutical product. Everyone knows this. So how do we get this? We need to autoclave it, which means whipping it down by another ionizer and then popping it through an autoclave. Which is definitely possible if we had the autoclave, which we don't right now. Which is unfortunate. God damn it, Steejo, stop doing that. There we go, we're making a decent amount of scratch now, 134 buckaroonies. And is that any... Is ulcer... No, painkillers are. Ulcers are not. I had antihistamine, soothe cold, soothe cough, and soothe rash. Antihistamine, soothe cold, soothe cough, and soothe rash. That's sexual health. That won't soothe any of them. Relaxant will come in handy. Can I hire another one of you buggers? Actually, give me another 2. I don't have the 5Gs for it though. There we go, give me another 2. That means that we can start on this one here, which is body response. And let's see, we need... Body response is diabetes, we don't need that. Hypertension is blood, liver is gout, lungs is soothe cough. But we need, yeah, we do need soothe cough. We need lungs, we need relaxants, we need infection, skin. Lungs, relaxants, infection, and skin. I forgot all about that. That's liver, that's blood. What are you? Relaxants. There we go. Send both of them there. And that should be good. But I'm going to have to call it an episode there. So, as always, I always ask this at the start of a new episode. If you could, please drop a like down below, a favourite, subscribe to the channel, and share it. It does help me out with search engine optimization and get more people to the channel. But, as always, I've been Steejo, you've been awesome. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.